Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to my top 5 games of 2016 that I am most excited looking forward to generally. Ooh, I can't wait about. It was bloody difficult choosing this time. There were so many games that I could easily have put on this list, and that's why I'm doing a top 5 instead of top 10, because it might as well be a top 30. It seriously could have been. So I'm forcing myself to really focus down and pick what I really am wanting. So I'm kind of looking at this. If I could right now only choose to play 5 games from next year, these are the 5 it would be. Now, obviously, again, my opinion, let me know what you guys think, and also, all 5 of these games might turn out to be absolutely terrible, so we do have that going for us. I could end up looking like a massive jackass. I've also tried to focus more on new IPs over sequels, but there are a couple on here that I couldn't ignore. Also, XCOM 2 would 100% be on the list, but it's coming out so soon, in a mere month, that I'm like, no, I'm okay with that. I can wait a month, that's fine, so I'm not gonna give it a spot over some other games. So let's begin then with number 5. No Man's Sky has been on so many lists for so often that it's about bloody time we're due for it to release. I mean, it supposedly has like a quintillion planets for you to visit, which just seems absurd at that point. I mean, the scope of this game looks to be the biggest scope of any game damn near ever. Whether it's actually going to be enjoyable to interact with and play remains to be seen, but just from the sheer beautifulness of it, the ideas powering it, and the vastness of, well, quite literally the universe that you can explore, I think it's going to be possibly something quite special. Now, a lot of these I'm not going to spend 8 years talking about like I would on my top 10 of the year, just because we've not played them yet. I have no idea. I'm just going on my gut feeling here, and that's all I can really say. But what I will do with No Man's Sky is, if the exploring and finding new species of animal is as in-depth and as diverse as I want it to be, I will fall in love with it, because I always think a game where you are effectively an explorer set out to document and track and even exploit weird and new species of fauna, that excites me. It really does. I love games based around that kind of concept, so that's why No Man's Sky is here. Next up at number 4, then, we have For Honor Charge! This game is here because I am itching all over. I really need some cream, seriously. But I am very much wanting another great melee combat intense experience. And Chivalry was so much fun when we played it, but it's kind of died down a fair amount, and then nothing really since then has given me that kind of just sheer brutal melee fun. And from watching alpha gameplay of For Honor, it does look like it's got that going for it. The actual flowy of the battlefield, giving you a little bit of a Dynasty Warriors fighting your way through loads of useless troops, to meeting other players who are the heroes on the battlefield, who you actually have proper, what looks to be really well thought out, mechanically intense, skill-based battles, to an end mode of each round where you no longer respawn and your life is your life, and if you die, you're out and can no longer help your team. That adds a real layer of serious intenseness. So I'm just more hopeful than anything with this game. I don't want it to be dumbed down. I don't want it to be too casual. I want it to be an intense, skill-based melee combat game, and it looks like it might very well be that. So For Honor is here. Next up then, at number 3, we have one game that's always going to be held dear to me, and that's, of course, WoW, the latest expansion, Legion. Now, after Warlords of Draenor, there honestly was a good chance I wasn't going to put WoW on a list again, because even though I put it top of 2014, it was really because of my feelings towards WoW as a game, and I explained what it did for me as a person in that if you want to look it up. I'm not going to go into it again, but WoW was much more than just me enjoying the game. It did a lot for me in terms of a person, which sounds kind of bad when you put it that way. Oh yes, I played WoW so much that I became an orc. But no, I mean, let me TLDR for you. Without WoW, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Without WoW, I wouldn't have met my best friend. So those two things always mean that WoW's got a big part of nostalgia with me. And actually, Legion looks like to be the best expansion ever. And I say that with no hyperbole. It really does look fantastic. It looks like they've learnt from their mistakes in WoD, and they are really trying their damnedest to make Legion, make WoW great again. And all the new mechanics and systems look wonderful. The revamping of how your character progresses looks great. The artifact weapons, while a little bit stupid that everyone gets ridiculously powerful legendary weapons, does look to be a lot of fun. And the class halls looks to be a much, much better of the garrison system. So, generally speaking, I'm excited for Legion. I think it has a chance to really make WoW great again. And that would be nice, because I am really itching for another good MMO experience. I really, really am. So let's move on then to number 2. And it is Dark Souls 3. I know I wanted to avoid direct sequels, and I guess technically Legion kinda counts as that, but, you know, I explained that one fairly adequately, I feel. But yes, Dark Souls 3. I mean, let's be real, a new Souls game is a big deal, and I love them. It's one of my favorite game series of all time. The thrill of you versus this big boss that by all means should be pounding you into the ground, but you get good and you eventually beat it, and that moment of just sheer triumph. I mean, it's unrivaled, and every Souls game, from Demon to Bloodborne, although Bloodborne's technically not, come on, it kinda is, has just been fantastic fun. I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours across all of them. They've all had fantastic parts. Yes, they've all had a few things that have been wrong with them, but the overall package has always been phenomenal, and Dark Souls 3 looks to be, again, another phenomenal experience. It looks like it's improved over 2 in a lot of the ways that it should. It looks like it's taken a few little bits of inspiration from Bloodborne, and it basically just looks to be the best Souls experience so far. It looks like it's just going to be great. And that's very exciting. Like, the prospect of the latest in a line of games being definitively the best one, I think is a little bit too rare that happens, and the Souls series tends to do that quite well. Dark Souls was definitely, arguably better than Demon Souls, nostalgia aside. Dark Souls 2, again over Dark Souls, nostalgia aside. There's a lot of discussion on whether Dark Souls 1 or 2 is better, and a lot of people go both ways, but there's a lot of great videos really analysing both games, and having had watched them, I honestly do think that Dark Souls 2 overall is probably about an 8 out of 10, and Dark Souls 1 about a 7-ish. But again, you know, that's my opinion formed based on lots of evidence that I've heard. So technically, it is an improvement. I mean, I definitely think it is. Personally, I enjoyed Dark Souls 2 more than 1, and then I enjoyed Bloodborne more than all 3 of them before. So I'm hoping that trend continues. It looks like it's going to, and therefore, what more do you need to know? Dark Souls 3 is undoubtedly, if I had to choose anything on this list that I was most confident in being amazing, it would be Dark Souls 3. So, there you go. I think it really does deserve its place here. So, moving on to number 1. We have Horizon Zero Dawn. This game has been exciting me ever since I first saw it announced. Let me just say this. Tribal warrior fighting robot dinosaur. What more do you need? If this game is as good as it has the potential to be, if it does its concept justice, I think it might be approaching just incredible levels of awesomeness. A game that everyone should play. You know, one of those games that everyone tells you to play. Everyone's really determined to get you to play them. I think this might be one of those, and I really do hope it is. Now, all I've seen from this game is a fight between Hunter and Robot Dinosaur. I don't know how any else of it works, how you progress your character, how you explore the world, if you manage your village, what any of those those things do, and that could make or break the game. But from the sheer perspective of Hunter fighting big, overpowering enemy and winning, that is my jam. And I think someone pointed it out to me on my top 10 of 2015. I seem to be someone who very much enjoys the thrill of the hunt in the game. The downing of the boss in Souls, the downing of the monster in Monster Hunter, hopefully the downing of the robot dinosaur in Horizon, the downing of the raid boss in WoW. It does look like I enjoy hunting things down. I don't know what that says about me, but I guess that's fine. It's kind of a niche little thing that I am finding enjoyable there. But there you go. There's not much to say about this game because we don't know much about this game. But just from the sheer how awesome the concept is, and assuming they don't completely fuck it up, it's gonna be great, I feel. I really, really do. So there you go, guys. That's my top 5. Do you agree? What are yours? And again, this list was very interchangeable, so don't take this as gospel, but I think it's a nice way to look forward to 2016 together and all of the goodness that we're going to have on this channel. I'm really, really excited, guys, and I hope you all are as well. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.